Chapter 13, the eighth mandate. Then he said,
I told you that God's creatures are twofold. For restraint also is twofold. For in some things we must restrain ourselves, and in others we do not.
And I said, Sir, make known to me in what we must restrain ourselves, and in what we must not.
I shall tell you,
He said,
restrain yourself from evil, and do not do it. However, do not restrain yourself from good, but do it. For if you restrain yourself and keep from doing good, you commit a serious sin. But if you restrain yourself and abstain from doing evil, you achieve a great work of righteousness. Restrain yourself from all evil by doing good.
Sir, what are the kinds of evil from which we must restrain ourselves? I said.
I shall tell you.
He said,
From adultery and fornication, from uncontrolled drunkenness, from evil luxury, from excessive eating and extravagant wealth, from boastfulness, arrogance, and pride, from lying, backbiting, and hypocrisy, the remembrance of wrong, and all blasphemy. These deeds are the most evil in the life of all men. Therefore, a servant of God must restrain himself from such deeds. The person who does not cannot live to God. Now, let me tell you the consequences.
Sir, are there any other evil deeds? I said.
Yes, indeed, many more which the servant of God must restrain himself from. Theft, lying, robbery, false witness, covetousness, lust, deceit, vain glory, pretense, and similar excesses. Do you not think such sins are wicked?
Very wicked indeed for the servants of God, I said.
A servant of God should restrain himself from all these excesses. Therefore, restrain yourself that you may live to God and be enrolled with those who restrain themselves in these matters. Therefore, these are the matters in which you should exercise self-restraint.
He said,
I shall now tell you from what you must not restrain yourself, and what you ought to perform. Do not refrain from good, but do it.
I said, Sir, also make clear to me the nature of good, that I may walk in it, and be subject to it, and by doing it may be saved. He answered,
I shall also tell you the good deeds which you ought to perform and from which you are not to restrain yourself.
He said,
In the forefront are faith, fear of the Lord, love, concord, upright speech, truthfulness, patience. There is nothing superior to these in the life of men. If anyone keeps these virtues and does not restrain himself from them, he will be blessed in life. Let me also enumerate the consequent good actions: the assistance of widows, looking after orphans and the poor, ransoming God's servants from distress, showing hospitality, for benevolence is found in hospitality, never resisting anyone, being of a quiet disposition, having fewer needs than all men, honoring the aged, practicing righteousness, exercising fraternal charity, enduring insult, being long-suffering, abstaining from resentment, comforting those who are troubled in spirit, not rejecting those who have stumbled in the faith, but winning them back and encouraging them, admonishing sinners, not oppressing debtors and the poor. And if there are any other actions like these, do you not think these acts are good?
Sir, there is nothing better than such acts, I said.
Then walk in them and do not hold back from them, and you will live to God.
He said,
Observe this commandment. If you do good without restraint, you will live to God, and all who do likewise will live to God. So too, if you avoid doing evil and restrain yourself from it, you will live to God. And whoever observes these commandments and walks in them will also live to God.